Yo, chat, what's going on? What's going on? We alive, baby. We back. How's everything, y'all? I hope all is well with y'all. Hope all is well with y'all. What's going on? Give me 1 second for a minute. Let me just fix this up. Let everybody know we live. And by the way, if you realize we're not up and running on YouTube now. So I got both Twitch stream and the YouTube stream up. I definitely wanted to touch run this out, with two streams on the horizon that I'm looking forward to the most, and that is tomorrow from when we stream Resident Evil 9. The time has come. If you haven't seen it already, I did a whole playthrough of Resident Evil 4 remake on my Twitch channel, so you can go check it out. You get a chance. And we did some other stuff we've streamed like Raw and SmackDown on as well through there. So in my opinion, I'm like, what better more than to have both streams up and have a good time with some of the YouTube community and the Twitch community as well. I want to show love for both of them and not just only one. So because for people who want to check it out, some people may not be able to check it out, when they're on Twitch, or they can subscribe to YouTube to check it out. So I want to make it convenient for a lot of people there. So that's the plan, and that's what we're going to do. And I definitely want to show some love to them and all that. So if you're in the building, what's going on? I hope all is well. I thank y'all for being here. Let me get ahead and already start doing this. Yeah, because I was having some issues with my Wi-Fi earlier, so it was tweaking for reasons I don't know. But the technician person gonna come in tomorrow, check it out and all. So we should see how it be and all. So I'm looking forward to that. Kenny Mack in the building on a 5-stream streak. Man, I appreciate you, brother. I appreciate you. What's going on? I hope all is well with you, my man. Thank you. Much love. So, yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to this week. It's gonna be very, very interesting. Very, very interesting. And I definitely want to do these predictions for Elimination Chamber. That is going on Saturday, and definitely looking forward to that because we're gonna have to talk about that and what could potentially happen. So, I know I was gonna find no time to do so. With Resident Evil and all this other stuff coming up. So I'm like, you know what? Let me just do it today. And then tomorrow is when we have the longer streams and all that stuff. So I'm definitely excited for. Later on, we're going to play some Sonic Heroes. I'll probably say around 8 o'clock. Probably 8:30, depending on one of those time frames. So as soon as we're done with this, I'm going to take a little break and all that, and then we're right back into it. We're going to play Sonic Heroes. So I hope y'all tune in for that too. But if you're in the building, I appreciate y'all being here, taking time out of y'all day, night, wherever y'all at, just to kick it with me and all. So it's greatly appreciated, and I thank y'all for that. So that being said, we have, I believe, 4 matches for Elimination Chamber, and that being the World Heavyweight Championship match of CM Punk versus Finn Balor, the Women's Intercontinental Championship match with AJ Lee taking on Becky Lynch, and then you had the men's and the women's Elimination Chamber matches. So definitely want to talk about it. I want to hear y'all opinions as well. Who y'all think is gonna win? And yeah, we're gonna get right into it. So without further ado, let's get it. So I'm gonna kick it off with the Women's Intercontinental Championship match. Baby Blue in the building. What's going on? I'm gonna kick it off with the Women's Intercontinental Championship match of AJ Lee versus Becky Lynch. And what people are anticipating is AJ Lee coming out as the new Women's Intercontinental Champion. Um, Son of my gut want me to choose AJ Lee because it makes the perfect sense. And if you really look at it from the standpoint with Becky Lynch, I just feel like her run with the title has been middle of the road. It wasn't really nothing too crazy about too. And then I'll say this now with um her gimmick of saying that she's the best and saying that she, what everybody know what Sports Illustrated say. I think it's getting really watered down. It's getting annoying and people are sick of it. And I don't know. I just feel like that this run with the title now for her has not been the best. And there's a slight chance that they could pull the trigger and have AJ Lee win it in Chicago and all. But I feel like it's gonna be some shenanigans to where Becky Lynch do some, heel tactics when the ref is not looking, or probably like, out of the picture that could potentially get her the win. And I'm leaning forward to Becky winning only because they may push it to WrestleMania if they run this back as a rematch, and that's when AJ Lee captures it. I could only, go off that logic there. Shot girl in the building. What's going on? What's going on? So I could only go off that logic right there. Because I don't know. I think it's too obvious. And lately with WWE, they always been so predictable. So they could swerve us and have Becky retain it. I think that will make things interesting. And I know people don't want to see AJ Lee take her first loss and God knows how long. But in this case right here, if you really want to catch us off guard and really make this interesting and all, instead of stating the obvious, then I would rather AJ win it at Mania versus winning the Elimination Chamber. Only because why have a loser in Mania? I have a moment. And then you got to think about it. If you also want to generate ticket sales and all, that's a better option as well. Because we know lately with WrestleMania and the shenanigans TKO was on, why go that route? So I think it makes the perfect choice for her to capture that title, at Mania and all. And I don't know. I don't think we're gonna get any interference in this match, to my knowledge, because the only person AJ really been beefing with was Becky Lynch. So I don't envision a circumstance nobody else gets involved. I'll just probably see some heel tags that happen, and then Becky end up hitting the backspoke or something that's gonna get her to win. So I'm leaning towards that. I truly believe she can be able to pull it off and get the win. So I'm rolling with Becky Lynch. I want to know what y'all think about that and all that. So I got Becky Lynch winning. Next, we have the WWE World Championship on the line of CM Punk versus Finn Balor. And I'm going to be honest with you. The match is going to be interesting. But after this, it's time for Finn Balor to go back to catering. I'm like, if you really truly believe that Finn's going to come out here and beat CM Punk, you got another thing coming. Because it don't make sense for Punk to lose, especially in Chicago and all. And again, it has me believe, what are they doing with Finn Balor? Because after he loses match, guess what? What you gonna have him do? Put him back in catering? And the Judgment Day is already crumbling in front of our eyes. You see the dysfunction a bit, with Dominic and Finn, especially with Dominic putting his Intercontinental Championship on the line and him not being able to, he had any assistance with Finn Balor and all, and he telling him like, listen, you got to go win it on your own. Like, you don't need us to age you when, winning the matches. So I feel like we're bound to get that, and you'll start seeing the Judgment Day slowly to being deteriorated. Um, I do see a turn happening too. So in this match, I believe you'll see JD McDonough and probably Dominic, you know, try to interfere into it and get the ref distraction, just to help out Finn Balor. But in CM Punk's case, if that happens, he's gonna try to neutralize him and all to put his attention on Finn. But it may be a situation where it backfires. Punk capitalize on it and hits him with the GTS, and then pins him for the 1, the 2, and the 3. I can see that happening, and I feel like he will get that win because of the Judgment Day fuck ups. Either that's courtesy of JD McDonough or Finn Balor, which I'm leaning on probably Finn Balor. I mean, excuse me, Dominic. So I do see that happening. I don't envision a circumstance that they don't get involved in that championship match, because somebody gonna cause a distraction to the ref, and we're bound to see some things take place right there. So I can see that happening, and in this case, it's gonna piss Finn off to the point where on Raw, he's gonna question Dominic a lot to the point where they might have a little fight or something like that. But it's only gonna be a matter of time until the turn happens. And I think from that moment there, if they're smart, seeing that they put in the seeds of Finn Balor probably turning babyface, what better more to do that is if you have JD McDonough and Dom turns on him and all, and Finn is fed up, he comes at Dominic and challenge him for the Intercontinental Championship at WrestleMania. That's the only way that they can build up Finn Balor again, because he was generating buzz at a certain point. But putting him in a championship match for a second time, expecting a different result, is not happening. We all know how this ends. And we know that CM Punk is retaining. So if they're smart, they will have Finn Balor in that Intercontinental Championship picture and have him beat Dominic at WrestleMania. I think it just makes the most perfect sense, in my opinion, and all that stuff. And then in this case, when CM Punk win it, I think we'll see Roman Reigns appear, because Punk was talking his shit on Raw, and I think after the match there was when we see them, they're gonna have some interactions with each other that probably lead to them brawling, maybe, or they may probably save it for Raw, or whatever the case is. But we all looking forward to that main event match at WrestleMania. I know I am. I'm pretty sure y'all, you're the same way. So I know that's going to be like must watch. So I'm looking forward to that. I can't wait. And yeah, I got Punk winning. Baby Blue said CM Punk is going to win. Yeah, of course. Absolutely. I'm like, WWE ain't stupid to drop the ball and have him lose, especially if you got a main event match with him and Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. Like, you really got to put your booking thinking caps on. So I do see that happening. Next, it is the women's Elimination Chamber match to determine who faces Jade Cargill at WrestleMania. So we have Rhea Ripley versus Tiffany Stratton versus Alexa Bliss versus Asuka versus Kiana James versus Raquel Rodriguez. And on paper, this could be a very good chamber match. I think we're gonna see some real improvement with Kiana James. I think she's gonna really like step up her wrestling abilities in this match and prove a lot of people that we should pay close attention to her. I think we're gonna see more of that. I think we're gonna see some moments with Alexa Bliss, even with Asuka as well. But I think the real focal point in this match are three people: Rhea Ripley, Tiffany Stratton, and Raquel Rodriguez. I think there's gonna be some crazy spots from the women's. Um, I feel like when it comes down to some acrobatic shit, we could see that from like Tiffany Stratton. We could see that from probably Oscar as well. So there's a lot of options there too. It's gonna be very, 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 very interesting. And who I think is gonna get eliminated first, truth be told, I think it's gonna be one out of the two. Probably either Alexa Bliss or it's gonna be Kiana James that gets eliminated first. But um in my heart of hearts, I'm gonna say Kiana James is gonna be the one that gets, eliminated out of the chamber. But she will put up a fight though. What I doubt she is. Like, I don't know if you have been paying attention lately with some of her matches that she had, you know, when Julia wasn't there, was something to really like open your eyes and say, okay, I see some potential there. So I think she's definitely gonna have some moments in that matchup. But I probably see her getting eliminated first. Next person I know that could get eliminated is Alexa Bliss. Because I don't envision the circumstance she win this match either. So she'll have some good moments too, and all that. She's definitely gonna be hitting somebody with a sister Abigail. But as far as winning it, absolutely not. So I think she'll get eliminated, and then it will come down to Rhea Ripley, Tiffany Stratton, and Asuka. Now with Asuka, here's the thing. I don't see her becoming the final two, because I think it's the main attention is going to be Rhea Ripley and Tiffany Stratton. Those two women have been generating a whole lot of buzz lately. So in this case for Asuka, she's going to be trying her best, probably locking the Asuka lock on one of them and all. And of course they might probably stop that and do their finisher and all that. But I see Asuka get eliminated as well. I don't envision a circumstance that she be the final two, in this chamber match. And that alone will make me think, what are they gonna do with her? Are they gonna set up a match between her and Kairi Sane at WrestleMania? Because how long are you gonna keep them as a tag team? If they ain't getting the championships back, well, what's the point of keeping them together? So I do see the breakup happening between her and Kairi Sane. And if it turns out that they do fight each other in that Mania, I'm all for it. I'm all for it. I've been on the hashtag free Kairi Sane bandwagon. Especially how she been getting treated lately. So I can see that happening, because it ain't gonna be an interference in this chamber. I doubt that. But yeah, I think it's a chance that we can get something like that, and that alone will make shit interesting. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to it. So out the gate, Asuka gonna be eliminated next, which leads to Rhea Ripley and Tiffany Stratton. Now those two are gonna have some good interaction in that ring. But of course, when it's all said and done, either if Tiffany Stratton try to hit Rhea with the prettiest moonsault, could get countered. That will lead to Rhea Ripley hitting the riptide on her and covering her for the 1, the 2, and the 3, and she'll take on Jade Cargill at WrestleMania. Now, we all anticipated that it was going to be Bianca Belair that takes on Jade. I was saying that as much. I was saying that a whole lot. But because of the whole hand injury that she suffered from last year WrestleMania, and how she been sidelined for X amount of months, well, damn it, technically a year, put it that way. It's been brutal and all to see, and I hope she recovers quickly and be back in the ring, because I ain't gonna lie, we need her back in WWE without a shadow of a doubt. We need her back in there. But we all thought that she was gonna probably face Jay at Mania, but after that whole injury situation, of course they're gonna pivot and to see who will make things a lot interesting when it comes down to facing her. So I think Rhea Ripley wins that. Another thing, you can't rule out Charlotte, because also Charlotte and Jay had some interactions with each other too. On SmackDown, when Charlotte was making her entrance and all of that, when Jay was talking her shit, and as she's doing that, you see, Jay Cargill getting all in her face, trying to get her attention, and you see Charlotte ignoring her. Plus, when Jay got to WWE, her and Charlotte had a face to face with one another. So they was already planting the seeds to begin with. Once she stepped into the WWE, spotlight, which was also interesting as well, as far as who would be good opponents for Jay Cargill. We did insert Charlotte Flair into that. So that could be something to where Charlotte will say, you know what? I didn't get into the chamber and all that too. I'm not missing out on WrestleMania. So I'm going to find my way to insert myself in this championship match, which could turn it into a triple threat. And Charlotte got history with Rhea Ripley, and then we already see the situations with her and Jade. So I can see a triple threat match at WrestleMania where it's Rhea Ripley versus Charlotte versus Jade Cargill, which I will love that match. I think that match would definitely put asses in seats and must watch. I could definitely see that happening. But when it comes down to the chamber, I do got Rhea Ripley winning, because out of all these other participants in here, it wouldn't make no sense. Tiffany Stratton, she already ran her course with the title, and Jada Ray had beaten her, so that will be unnecessary. Alexa Bliss and her, no, because let's be honest, is that going to generate buzz and really draw eyes on that? No, because Alexa, she's dealing too much with Jay Cargill. Jay will pack her up mostly. Asuka, come on now. It's not no disrespect to Asuka or anything, but again, they had no type of interactions or any feuds that can make you care about that matchup. Same goes for Kiana James, and same goes for Raquel Rodriguez. The same way, and I forgot to mention Raquel Rodriguez. Said I think she'll make it to the final 3 and lose. So I will swap out and say Kiana James get eliminated first, then it's Asuka, Raquel Rodriguez, and then Tiffany Stratton. So I truly believe that's the order of them. That happening, who knows? Shit could change. But yeah, y'all let me know who y'all got winning that match. But I'm gonna lean on Rhea Ripley, and she'll faces Jade at WrestleMania. And last but not least, we have the men's Elimination Chamber match, and it's Randy Orton versus LA Knight versus Cody Rhodes versus Javon Evans versus Trick Williams versus Jey Uso. Now, if y'all haven't noticed already, because they talked about it on Monday Night Raw, originally it was supposed to be Bronson Reed, but because he got injured, he had a bicep injury, they pivot to Jey Uso winning the qualifying match, and now he replaces Bronson Reed. Even with that, this is where shit gets tough, because if y'all knew about the rumors speculating about Brock Lesnar and him potentially interfering in this matchup, probably taking out Javon Evans, and then insert himself as a replacement, which can lead to him facing LA Knight. That could start a feud up. So something like that, and they'll probably face each other at WrestleMania. That's just a rumor. Now, I don't want that to happen at all. First of all, I don't want Brock Lesnar nowhere near Javon Evans. Let this man have his moment in that chamber. Similar to what we saw with Montez Ford, but he was in an Elimination Chamber, and how he had some crazy moments where he did a crazy-ass dive where he climbed on the top of the chamber and dropped on him. I thought that was insane as well. And I feel like with Montez, the way he was able to generate buzz when he was in that chamber, I feel like Javon Evans do the same way. We already see how crazy he is in the ring as well, based on his movesets. So imagine you putting this motherfucker in a chamber where he could climb on top of the pod, do some crazy shit, or even climb up the chains on top of the chamber and do something crazy that way. So he could pull some tricks out of his arsenal to make that match so interesting. And I could definitely see that happening. Gonna be some very cool spots. I feel like Trick Williams, he's gonna shine in this match as well. I just love how they've been building him up lately, and I definitely enjoy some of his best work as a heel. So I hope they keep that up and keep him in that picture. Of course, you're gonna see some interaction with Cody Rhodes, Randy Orton, and all of that, and then we can't forget Jay as well. So, in my opinion, this is how I probably see this going. So, when all 5 men is in the ring, I think the first person I could probably see get eliminated, if this goes the way it's supposed to, if Brock gets involved and somehow takes out Javon Evans and replaces him, I could probably see him getting eliminated first because of LA Knight. And then of course, once they try to get LA Knight out of, just to get Brock Lesnar out of the chamber because he got eliminated, I think that's when he'll try to recover a bit, turn his attention to LA Knight, try to pack him up. And once he do that, Trick Williams, being the heel that he is, gonna probably try to take advantage of it and pin LA Knight to eliminate him. And, being down to Randy, Cody Rhodes, Trick Williams, and Jey Uso, I think that fatal four-way will be interesting. I feel like in this case, Jay or Cody or even Randy might take out Trick Williams, and he be eliminated next. That leads down to the final three of both Randy, Cody, and Jey Uso, which all three men have history with each other. You look at Cody and him having history with Jay, as they used to be tag teams together, winning tag team championships and all that shit. And then you have Randy Orton, who one had beef with Jay when he was with the Bloodlines and stuff like that. And then with Cody, him, being his mentor and all that too. Like, it's so much history between the three, and I feel like that's gonna be interesting. But of course, who I see getting eliminated is Jay. And I might come off of Randy hitting an RKO out of nowhere. Like, Jay tried to do the Uso splash, and Randy, you know how it is, playing possum, and he'll catch you out of nowhere with the RKO. Or it could be a situation where Cody hits him with the crossroads unexpectedly. So those things can be interesting. And you realize with Jay, he haven't really been crashing out lately, like he was months ago, way before he teamed up with Jimmy again. What if that happens? So it's a lot that can go down, but it really just falls on the hands of how they really execute it and all. But I do see Jay getting eliminated and he only being down to two people, and that's Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes. Now this will be interesting, and I'm gonna be honest with you. As bad as we don't want to see Cody versus Drew McIntyre at Elimination, at WrestleMania again, since they already fought each other and Drew ended up winning the title, I truly believe they're gonna have Cody win and face Drew and all. Now they fuck around and swerve us and Randy wins. We all here for it too, because Randy and Drew McIntyre also have history with each other and have beef with each other as well. So it will make shit a whole lot interesting. We just got to see how they pivot with that. But the reason why I'm kind of leaning on Cody winning that, because if he was to lose, who would he feud with at WrestleMania? Now, you could throw in Jacob Fatu. Jacob Fatu could somehow find his way interfering in that Elimination Chamber match. Because even him and Cody, even though he said to Cody, like, I don't got no real beef with you and all that too. My attention is on Drew McIntyre and all that stuff. Again, Cody's targeting Drew as well. So that can happen as well. And if I'm being honest, that could probably turn into a fatal 4-way when you have Randy Orton versus Cody Rhodes versus Jacob Fatu versus Drew McIntyre. Because who would you have Jacob Fatu feud, as well? Because you can't leave him off WrestleMania. And so far, he's been looking to get at Drew McIntyre as well. So I know I'm thinking a little bit ahead of all this stuff, but I'm here with you. If I see who winning this match, I'm going to lean on Cody Rhodes. I'm going to lean on Cody Rhodes because I know they're going to have them build up between him and Drew McIntyre again. But somewhere, somehow, Jacob Fatu is going to try to insert himself into that conversation and put himself in that match too. So we can have that hell. In this case with Randy Orton, he might feel the same way as well. And they could turn that into a fatal 4-way. Because I don't see Randy Orton feuding with anybody outside of Drew McIntyre, Jacob Fatu, or Cody Rhodes. Nobody else past that. So all of this might probably lead to a fatal 4-way match at WrestleMania. That's the best way I can put it. But who I think couldn't win his Elimination Chamber is Cody Rhodes. Bar none. It will be Cody. And it's going to be interesting because I feel like they're going to have some good spots between him and Randy if it's down to those final two. They're going to have some crazy spots right there that's going to have you out, have you out of your seat. So that will be very, very interesting to see and all that. But I got Cody winning. Also, we will find out what is that whole mystery crate is about. Because lately we've been seeing that all over SmackDown, Raw and all that stuff, and try to figure out what the fuck is in the crate. And it's been revealed that it won't be open until this Saturday for the Royal Rumble. Now, if it's somebody, call me crazy, it can be Chris Jericho. I truly believe it could be Chris Jericho. Because I know in due time, he's bound to make a return. Because I was going to check, I don't think he's with AEW no more. That can fact check me if that's the case. But I don't think he's with AEW no more. So we can see Chris Jericho make a return at the Elimination Chamber. And then you got to think, we in Chicago. When it comes to Chicago's and they PLEs, we do get surprises. A whole lot. Look what happened, with the Elimination Chamber when Punk came back 2 years ago, I think. 2 or 3 years ago. Yeah. I think it's 3 years ago, chat. Holy shit. Y'all let me know. Was it 2 years or 3 years since CM Punk came back to WWE? The time moved by fast. It moved by fast. But we expect surprises when it comes down to them. So I'm definitely looking forward to that. I know that's going to be so interesting to see. Yep, 2023 War Games. There we go. Yep. So almost close to 3 years. Which is crazy. But I think we are going to get a surprise. And I feel like this is when Chris Jericho makes his return. They always want that good pop. And he does say he wants to end his career in WWE. So we're betting more to reveal him than at the Elimination Chamber. But let that happen after the match. Let it happen after the match. So, Cody can get his moments and all that to embrace the win and all. And then right then and there, they'll probably reveal the crate. And we'll see who comes out of that. And I think once that happens, I think that's when we get Chris Jericho. So, those are my predictions. It's going to be very interesting to see how they're going to do that. Looking forward to it. K-Max said Gunther going to be lurking. I can't rule it out. That's a fact. Because now with him, finished with AJ Styles and, he's still beefing with Dragon Lee and all that stuff after Dragon Lee tried to pretty much pack him up on Monday Night Raw. I won't be surprised if we don't see Gunther try to do something to interfere with that. You know, it never crossed my mind because I'm just going off of, you know, each of the guys that's in the ring and the history they have with Drew McIntyre. So that's the only thing. And if they're smart, if WWE is smart, instead of having Brock Lesnar, if the rumors is true to where he try to insert himself in the chamber, instead of going that route, the one thing they can do though, for somebody to accept this open challenge, and you already heard me say it, the one person I feel like it's the right time, you know, the right person to do that shit with is Royce Keys. Now people said over Femi, I would love that, but it looks like over Femi gonna have his hands full with Rusev. So we got to see how the whole thing turns out, because it's pretty much up and down with who can be Brock Lesnar's opponent. But I would throw over Femi name in the ring as well, in a hat. So the two I can say that are gonna face Brock at WrestleMania, and I hope to God it ain't LA Knight, is Royce Keys or Oba Femi. But I'm gonna lean on Royce Keys because we haven't seen him since the Royal Rumble. He still haven't chosen what brand he gonna be on, and if there's any way you want to build him up to be a dominant force on whatever brand he's on, you have him take out Brock Lesnar. You have him take him out. I think that's how he make a name for himself and really put people on notice. Like, yo, I'm here to stay. I'll let you know I'm not to fuck with. I'm not to be fucked with. I just took out the beast incarnate. And now I want y'all to understand who y'all dealing with. Now, it could be a situation where they may put him at NXT, which would be crazy if you ask me, because I think Royce Keys is main event worthy. I mean, in this case, he's like the top brand of Raw SmackDown. He's worthy of that. But I won't be surprised if they try to put him in NXT, you know, and he dominate that way, similar to what Oba Femi was doing. So we can get that. And if they do go that direction, 9 times out of 10, it will be Oba Femi that challenge Brock Lesnar. So it's really, really tough on what they can do. But they got to think from a booker standpoint how they could do this and really put ass to seats and make shit interesting for WrestleMania. So you really got two powerhouses that can face Brock Lesnar if done right. So we'll see how they execute with that and all that. And, you know, definitely looking forward to streaming this Saturday for Elimination Chamber. Definitely looking forward to it. So I hope y'all ready, prepared just as much as I am. And also to run it back one more time on who I chose to win on this match card for Elimination Chamber. So I got AJ Lee losing to Becky Lynch, and she retains her title because of some shenanigans. She's gonna do some heel tactics. You know, when the ref back is turned or he's just out of the picture, to pretty much favor herself on beating AJ Lee, because she ain't gonna be her clean. Let's be real. She's not gonna be AJ Lee clean. So I think Becky retains. They run it back at WrestleMania, and I think that's when AJ have a moment there where she dethrones her and become the new women's Intercontinental Champion. You know, I know people were probably expecting her to, you know, beat Becky at in the Elimination Chamber, especially being in Chicago. But if you really want to bring some real attraction to Becky Lynch and actually make it interesting to the point where she generates some heat, you put her to win this match. Let her get as much hate as possible. You build off that, and then it transitions from her facing each other again at WrestleMania, and that's when AJ Lee gets the job done. That's the only way I can see this happening. If executed properly, they can do that. But it really has to be a situation where it's the book, like the build up for it is not so boring. Because again, we never saw, you didn't see AJ Lee and God knows how long until she inserted herself back in the picture. And Becky Lynch, of course, still had beef with her. That led to them facing each other at Elimination Chamber. So we need to see more AJ Lee at the Elimination Chamber to make this so interesting, because now it will be a couple of weeks removed from Elimination Chamber leading into WrestleMania. So the build up needs to happen right here and right now. So I got Becky Lynch beating AJ Lee for the men's. I mean, sorry, for the World Heavyweight Championship. I have CM Punk beating Finn Balor. I think we all gonna get some interference from the Judgment Day, being JD McDonough and Finn Balor. That will backfire, and this is where Punk takes advantage of it and pack up Finn Balor right then and there. And I think we all gonna see Roman Reigns in that arena and him have an interaction with CM Punk. Hell, they may have a battle of fisticuffs after that. But I feel like with that match being out the way, is when we'll probably see Roman come off his yacht. And now we'll build up for their match at WrestleMania. I look forward to it, and I hope that happens there. I don't want to see a situation where it's CM Punk carrying this whole entire feud with him being at Raw every Monday. I want to see Roman Reigns do the same as well. If you want us to really care, we all gonna care regardless. But if you want to make this shit a whole lot more interesting, because after their first promo they had when Roman made his decision who he wanted to face, you need to have him on the show. You gotta have him on the show. I think that's the only way they can execute this properly. Do not let CM Punk carry that whole entire feud, because it will not work well at all. It needs to be split 50-50. So we'll see how that turns out. But I got Punk winning. For the women's Elimination Chamber match, I got Rhea Ripley winning that match. And the Chamber's going to be interesting. But I got Rhea winning only because it makes sense to where her and Jay Cargill has some interactions with each other too. And I know that will lead to them having a match at WrestleMania, but also Charlotte Flair inserting herself into that championship match. And they could probably turn into a triple threat. So I definitely see that happening, and I'm looking forward to that too if that's the case. So if it happens, you already know who already predicted that to go down. And last but not least, for the men's Elimination Chamber match to determine who faces Drew McIntyre at WrestleMania, I got Cody Rhodes winning. And like I said, with that match itself, it's going to be very, very interesting and must watch. Because all men in that match are going to make this competitive. They're going to make this very, 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 very interesting. But now this all falls down to how it all play out. And again, I say, please, for the love of God, do not have Brock Lesnar nowhere near this chamber match. If all 5 competitors is in there who earned that opportunity to be in there, I'm all for it. But please don't let it be a situation where he takes out Javon Evans, put himself in there, and him and LA Knight has an interaction with each other, and of course LA Knight finds a way to pack up Brock. Brock gets heated, turns around, pack up LA Knight, and then it starts their feud for WrestleMania. I hope that don't happen, because if so, it's over for LA Knight. I had hopes for him, but if nothing changes and that's the route they go, you pretty much burying this man, because you have multiple opportunities to really have him bounce back and be relevant. He's still relevant to this day, but now you're making it worse now. You didn't let him win a championship match, and you didn't let him win Money in the Bank. So, yeah, I hope they just don't feed him to the wolves and then we get all that nonsense. So, I really hope not. But, yeah, I got Cody winning and facing Drew at WrestleMania, but that could probably get turned into a fatal 4-way, adding in Jacob Fatu and Randy Orton. So I could potentially see that. But yeah, This was on. This was pretty interesting. I definitely enjoyed it and all. Let me know who y'all got winning at the Elimination Chamber. I definitely want to hear y'all opinions about it. And yeah, like I said, we're gonna be live for the Elimination Chamber on YouTube and on Twitch. So I hope to see y'all um on Saturday. Looking forward to it and on and yeah, and all things considered, I'm gonna come back later on today. Like I said, I'm shooting around 8 o'clock or 8:30 Eastern Standard Time, and we're gonna play some Sonic Heroes and all that, and enjoy that. So we can prepare ourselves for tomorrow for Resident Evil 9. So I appreciate y'all being here as well and all that, and I'm gonna go relax, straighten up and all that, and then we're gonna be gaming tonight. So I make sure y'all be on the lookout for that. If you follow me on Twitch, make sure you hit that follow button, you click that notification bell so you get notified every time I go live on Twitch. Same goes for YouTube. You hit that subscribe button and you click that notification bell so you get notified anytime I drop content or I go stream right there in that channel. I appreciate y'all love and support. Thank y'all for being here for the 2026 WWE Elimination Chamber prediction video. I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. I will see y'all in about an hour and some change. So continue to keep God first. Trust the process of anything that you do at life. Your time will come, and I will catch y'all later on. Peace.